So right after my video review on Bioshock, I've actually gotten a recommendation from my close friend to play through the Metro series, since it is also a single player FPS series that focuses a lot on setting and atmosphere. And I've always heard and seen many great things from this franchise, especially the fact that the series is lauded to have one of the most immersive experience. So did I enjoy the first game in this series, and should you play through this game? Welcome to this video where I talk about all things video games. In this video I'll be reviewing Metro 2033 Redux. So one of the first things I really want to start stating is really the setting and atmosphere. So this game's setting is based on a novel with the same name. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic Russia where nuclear war has ravaged the surface, and the radiation left people no choice but to seek refuge in the underground metro tunnels. The game constantly has a rather depressing tone as you see the effects of how the nuclear war has affected people.
Moscow's gone. Soon we'll be gone too. And the monsters...
There just isn't a lot of hope in the air, and people are just surviving with lesser and lesser resources, surviving against mutated monsters. I really enjoyed the premise and setup, and was always looking forward to seeing more of this world. In this 10 hours campaign, I genuinely like the story, but I'll say it can feel a little bit convoluted at certain times, especially the endings. Overall, I'm content with the plot, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of this setting again in the sequel, Metro Last Light. For the gameplay portion, Metro 2033 is broken up into different chapters with linear level designs and scenarios. The set pieces in these chapters are a joy to play through. You're never doing the exact same things over and over again, and it's very well paced. I really like the gunplay a lot. Most of the weapons have a nice weight and feel to them, and the different assortment of weapons generally feels great as well. Even though the gunplay feels great, it really isn't a game that focuses on all these big firefights. After all, you are playing as a survivor in this world with limited resources afforded to you, and you really need to take up all these resources, such as your precious ammo. You're able to hold the 3 weapons at one time. However, raw ammo is kind of useless, isn't it? So in many chapters, the best way to proceed through the levels is to actually take the stealth approach and conserve your ammo. However, I find that the stealth mechanics are a little bit off. Like, it's very easy to get noticed, and once you get noticed, that's it. All the enemies in the area will know you're there, and you can't really reset from that point. And to be fair, a lot of the mechanics in the game isn't really explained that well in its tutorial. Like for example, if you are taking the stealth approach, it's better to shoot down or turn off all the light sources to mask yourself into the surroundings. But this was never made very obvious to me, so in the end I kind of just took the gun blazing approach more times than not. Anyways, aside from saving ammo here and there by taking the stealth approach, another resource to take note of is the gas mask filter, as there will be times where you need to explore some radiated areas, such as on the surface where in order to survive you need to don the gas mask. And in order to continue breathing, you have to constantly stock up filters as they can run out. To take all these survival mechanics to the next level, you can choose the harder difficulties, which emphasizes more on survival and a constant need to look out for all these resources. Personally, for this playthrough, I picked the vanilla normal mode, which I think may have backfired and decreased my enjoyment actually. As aforementioned, I rarely went the stealthy approach and just went in gun blazing. Thus, I'm considering jumping into the ranger modes for my playthrough of the sequel to fully immerse myself next time. Speaking of being immersed, another reason why this game is so immersive is entirely down to the presentation. The game rarely leaves the first person perspective, and there aren't a lot of UI elements on the screen to remind you that this is a video game. And couple that with the survival elements, such as basic actions like wiping your gas mask, seeing blood splatters on your gas mask showing cracks, all the disgusting insects and bugs near your face, all these elements really sell the illusion really well. The audio design is also incredible. Whether it's walking in a crowded metro station with people talking over each other, with hints of music in the background, or in a tunnel filled with hostile humans that you're desperately trying to avoid, to the sound effects in battle. It is absolutely incredible how immersive it all feels when all of these elements align. As part of this Redux remake, the graphics have gotten a great overhaul. Even playing in 2021, I think it still holds up fine, especially in the underground metro levels, where it's naturally more dark and can hide more imperfections. I especially like the use of lighting in these sections. I think the surface levels are probably the ones that you can tell it's not aged that well. There's just nothing really interesting to see in the bright outdoors. To summarize, Metro 2033 Redux is indeed very immersive, with a very intriguing setting and scenario. The gameplay is awesome with many varied set pieces to highlight the great gunplay. The presentation is top notch, aiding the world building aspect, and of course making the game very immersive. My negatives are that the game could have shipped with better tutorials. I get that they didn't want to hold your hand, but I think some sort of explanation on basic mechanics would have sufficed. And also I find that the story can feel a little bit convoluted for my taste. Thus, I'm giving Metro 2033 Redux an 8 out of 10. It's a solid game, if you have claimed this game back when it was free on Epic Games Store, I think it's definitely worth a play. For others though, the game can be found on sale pretty often, and at the price of $5, I think it's worth it. Anyways, I'll be playing the sequel Metro Last Light pretty soon, so stay tuned on this channel for that review. For next month, I'm really excited about some of the upcoming games like the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, so do look forward to seeing me cover those games in the future. To watch another review of an FPS game, you can click here to see me cover Bioshock 1. So long guys, so long.